believe are some insightful findings of goals. And as Indians, are we adequately prepared to fulfill the life goals? A quick context before I jump into the findings, why and what we are doing. If you recall, some of you may recall, in 2018, we went through a brand transformation exercise. Our aspiration is to be the life goal enabling brand of Indian population. When we embarked on this purpose of ours, we said it is important for us to understand the life goals of Indian population across cohorts of age, income, geography, gender. We had first edition of the Life Goal Preparedness Survey in 2019. Very interesting findings even came out that time. Then we had pandemic for a prolonged period from 2020 till the mid last year. Of course, it was obvious the pandemic has in some way influenced our outlook towards life. It was important for us to go back to the consumers and understand if pandemic has really made an impact on how we think about our lives and our life goals. And hence we embarked on the journey and we have this finding ready. We did unveil the findings few days back, but we have come here in South, in Chennai specifically, is to reveal not just the national findings, but how South on some of the parameters is looking slightly different from the national average. We'll talk about that. And quickly in next 20-25 minutes, walk you through the key findings. I hope you'll find this very, very interesting. There is no such survey across for decades has happened on life goals. Yeah, so happy to, Bajaj Allianz Life is happy to undertake this initiative and make it available to as many people as possible, to the media, to several participants in the ecosystem of the entire industry. And it is not limited to life insurance. And I'll tell you how these findings are relevant to how multiple stakeholders, not just to the life insurance players. In fact, to the entire BFSI players and everybody who is associated to anything life and the life goals. Quickly, what is the one of the most interesting finding that has emerged? Okay. Now, as we present the findings, we have also set this finding against the backdrop of what happened pre-pandemic. As I told you, we did the first survey in 2019. It is a good yardstick of what Indians were thinking pre-pandemic. We did this field work the fag end of the last year, and of course we synthesized the report, compile and come to you now in the March after having synthesized the report. What is one finding that's coming out clearly? Providing for financial security of family is the top rated life goals by India. Okay. Second interesting point. So this life goal never appeared in the previous edition. I'll take a step back. Now, what is the research methodology? When we first started the research, we didn't go, so typically what happens, you go, they have a large sample size, you go with a quantitative questionnaire and ask people to take mark. What do you think? This. Which means they're giving limited choice to the respondents. When we first went to the consumers, to the respondents, we first went with the in-depth interviews. We went through something called exploratory research. So several research techniques, we asked people to list down on a blank slate what are the life goals and what are life goal themes. After having done hundreds of the in-depth interviews, we shortlisted 40 most recurring themes. Those 40 then became part of the quantitative survey, where life goals didn't appear. Post-pandemic, you see this, providing for financial security for family has emerged as a topmost life goal. Now, this is the national average 71%. Interestingly, South, it moves up. In the round one, we had emergence of some new age life goals. Of course, we Indians, we care about family. There are conventional life goals like retirement, child education, etc. What we saw in the last was the emergence of new age life goals, travel, health, fitness coming up. Now, some of the life goals are taking prominence among the Indian population, and we'll touch upon this, why, perhaps what is happening. Now, let's see how the story gets interesting. Next slide, please. So, pre-pandemic, Indians on an average had 5 life goals. Post-pandemic, the number of life goals per Indians have moved to more than 2x 11 life goals. Very, very interesting. Look at metros. Metros, this includes Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, of course. It's moved to 13. Of course, it is a function of the opportunities that are emerging in context as India strengthens its physical and digital infrastructure. That is one part of the story that explains why this is happening, this perhaps happening. Second is pandemic definitely made an impact. I repeat this often. We all have 2 lives. Okay, the second life starts when everybody realizes that there is only one life. This is what pandemic has played out. Want to do more, achieve more, live more, and that is what's coming out in 5 to level. This explains part of the story. One part is the rising aspirations. The second is how pandemic wants all of us to achieve more. Yeah. Now it goes to specific life goals, what's happening. Health life goals, first round, only 1/3 of the people said it is a priority life goal. Now 2/3 of Indian population is saying that it is a priority life goal. Very, very interesting. This is across cohorts of customer, age, even tier 2 towns, so on and so forth. And if you look around what's happening around us, last year, I'm sure everybody has some or the other health app or something installed or a wearable here in this room. Can you take a guess how many health apps were launched last year? Any guess? Anybody can speak about this number? 1,000, 2,000? Take a guess. There were 71,000 health and fitness app launched last year. Okay, this health app basically gives you a calorie count, it has nutrition diaries, it detects your vital and fitness health, so on and so forth. This is what the health apps do. So not just this, the smart wearables, this grew by 47 last year. And where is this coming from? The 60% of that share is dominated by the tier 2 towns. Very, very interesting. There are several other data points. Of course, globally also this phenomena is relevant. One data point suggests that there is 57% increase in downloads post-pandemic on the health and fitness app globally. When it comes to India, it is 147% increase in the health app downloads. You Google across tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 towns, you have some or the other physical event happening. Forget, one is the online part. There is so much of online fitness, yoga sessions that are on. Even the physical events like marathons happening all across India, tier 2, tier 3 towns. You do Google this Coimbatore something in 2 weeks. In Madurai, Udaipur, Jaipur, so on and so forth. Even in the tier 3 towns. We had Pune Marathon end of last in December. We had 18,000 participants running together in Pune. We had a plankathon event in Delhi. We made a brave attempt to have 5,000 people, more than 5,000 people holding plank position for a minute. We got more than 5,000 people, but because of some restriction, we couldn't accommodate all the more than 5,000. So we had an overwhelming response. More than 5,000 people came there, held a plank, and we got into Guinness World Record. It's just indications of health and fitness is becoming a top life goal among the Indian population. Very interestingly, Chennai, if it is 1.8x increase, for Chennai it is 2.1x increase in the intensity. Several data points. Now one interesting point is Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. Some health apps saying that average steps taken is 4,300 per person in these cities versus 2,700 in other metros. Very interesting. Even Bangalore, the intensity and the frequency of workout, Bangalore is at the top. Other life goals I just quickly walk through. Retirement, one of the conventional life goals. But what is interesting is 2x population. 71% of the Indian population saying retirement as a key life goals. It is becoming relevant even in the tier 2 towns, even in the younger audience. This is the second set of interesting findings. Next, So it is not about just the monetary life goals. Indians want to live a well-balanced life. What is well-balanced life in this context? It is about being able to do what you love, pursuing your hobbies, passion, being able to spend quality time. From 51%, it has moved to 84%. Again, so every time we done this, we also try to look at cohorts. If there is something happening in gender, income group, or zone, geography zones. So this story is coming out clearly. Even non-metros, while we see a jump, it is catching up with metros. The next life goal, travel life goals, very interesting. We saw a phenomenon called revenge tourism as the pandemic restrictions were being relaxed. But this has stayed down. From 28%, 52% of Indians saying, travel, I want to pursue travel. This is one of my key life goals. Okay, even if you look at what's happening around us, as per DGCA, okay, data that says that from 2020 we had 6.2 crore domestic flyers. Last year we clocked in 12.1 domestic flyers. Other data point, there is another trade body that says that the Indian hospitality sector last year garnered a revenue increase of 47%. Look around us, this is happening and this is sustainable. Very interestingly, Chennai and Bangalore slightly outscore the national average. Chennai at 55% and Bangalore highest at 59%. Moving on to the next one. So we spoke about self-care, family care. This is very significant. This is one of the themes. The societal well-being is becoming one of the key life goals. Of course, it is influenced by pandemic. We had 19% Indians saying to give back something to the society. It's not necessarily monetary. Able to share experience, skills, reskill people, so on and so forth. This is that life goal. From 19, it has moved to 32%. Even in terms of data, philanthropic data, so the contributions made last year by individual contributions were to a tune of 5,800 crore, which is a significant jump. The last data that was available in 2018, it was something, a figure like 3,200. So significant jump. The philanthropic individual contributions have now 5,800. This is separate from the CSR and the contributions made by the organization. So there is an indication of people wanting to give back to the society is on the rise. People saying, this is my life, so this is what I want to do. Next slide, please. Career growth. This augurs very well for Indian population. It's not about health, fitness, travel. People, there are opportunities also emerging in the smaller towns. Hence, people want to reskill themselves. There, again, it is on the back of the infrastructure, digital, physical structure. As it gets robust even in the tier 2 and tier 3 towns, the opportunities that are emanating are fueling aspirations. And to tap on those opportunities, people say, I have to reskill. And also the access to the online education through several platforms and online courses. People have to tap into that. This is becoming one of the key life goals, but also in tier 2 towns. The next one. Now, social media, when we did 2019, this was very relevant among the younger millennials that time. From 18 to almost 40% of the Indians saying now social media is influencing the life goals. And what are these life goals? These are the areas of lifestyle, health, fitness and travel. Social media is making a significant impact, not just. Now, let's understand how prepared are we as Indians to achieve the life goals, and let's see how South India consumer behavior is emanating from this. So, two functions. There are two parameters on how we define the life goal parameter. Are we enough prepared? One is, how sure are you to achieve the life goals? It's psychological, but how sure are you to achieve life goals? So here, 48% people on a national average are saying that they're not sure. See, that is interesting. Aspirations are increasing, but there is an element of unsurety. It is not because something wrong with the economic factors or the infrastructure. It is because the number of life goals have increased, the aspirations have increased. It has moved from 5 to 11, and particularly in the metros, it has moved to 13. There's so much to be done, but I don't know. As a consumer, I don't know how will I be able to achieve. So there is an element of uncertainty. I don't know how I'll do it. Now if you look at South, very interesting. So it moves to 52%, slightly higher than the national average. To my mind, I was not surprised because we know South slightly more conservative. I would define this the essence of cautious optimism, and this gets highlighted in the South profile. The second part, the second component of preparedness is, have you done enough planning? That number has increased from 53 to 60%, saying that they have not done enough planning. People confessing that, no, I have not done enough. Particularly South it moves to 65%. Yeah, as a combination of these two parameters. Now, we have developed an index called India's Lifeboat Preparedness Index. It's a combination of three parameters: equal weightages, knowledge, confidence, and have you done enough planning? So basically, on these three parameters, we have designed this index proprietary to us, after done in collaboration with the independent research partner Kantar. This is what is happening. So on the index, it is 47 index. As Indians, we are saying that this is where we stand as far as the lifeboat preparedness is concerned. Last year it was 50, last time it was 51, it has dropped to 47. It is primarily on the back of number of lifeboats have increased and not adequate financial planning, that is, people say not done enough. Now if you look at South specifically, it further drops by 6 points. From 47 national average, it drops to 41. The only we would attribute this to the cautious optimism as a psychographic profile within the South India. So this was one interesting part. Quick summary before I take questions from you. Financial security emerges, 5 key triggers. Providing for financial security for family emerges top. South is slightly higher. Chennai is maximum at 76% compared to 69 rest of India. Health and fitness, we spoke about almost 1/3 of the population. 1/3 if it was pre-pandemic, 1/3 said it is now 2/3 of Indian population saying health and fitness is a key life goal. The number of life goals has increased by 2x. This is a very interesting point. The other is the financial preparedness score, while for India it is 47, for South it moves to 41. The last point, as Arushi, the independent research expert said, life insurance continues to be one of the most preferred instrument for Indian consumers to achieve their life goals. Thank you. Happy to take questions. See, totally we have a respondent size roughly 2,000. Okay, now everybody has a point of view. We are such a huge populated country. What is 2,000? What statisticians say is how reliable or statistically valid the sample size is, two parameters. Okay, and they call it confidence level and the margin of error. I will not get into technical, sir, but I will try my best to keep it as simple as possible. What a confidence level is, our confidence level in this is 95% of confidence level and 2.23 as a margin of error. What this means? 95 of 100 times 95% on any sample, if you to repeat this, 95% this result will be accurate with a variation of plus minus 2.23%. 65% rate life insurance as a preferred instrument to achieve the life goals. 95% it will be the number 65.23. I'll tell you why 0.23 coming. That error 2.23 or 65%. So 2.23, somebody can do maths, it is roughly 2%. So either it will be 67.2 or it will be 63.2 plus minus 2.23%. 95 times it will be accurate. Let's say I'll draw another parallel. NCER, National Council of Applied Economic Research, based out of Delhi. Very premier institute, oldest institute. What they do is they do a survey of the monthly income of the households, and they categorize on the 5 blocks, 15 lakhs and above. So many households in India have this population. So 5 such blocks. Can you take a guess what is the sample size? at a state level, it is 3,000. We can, at 3,000, what are the confidence at 95%, what is the margin of error? It is 1.83. There is no doubt that higher the sample, the margin of rate reduces. But can you see, if after a certain threshold, the more you increase the incremental impact in reducing is not much. From 2.2 it moves to 1.8. I hope that answers the question. Profile, metro, tier 1, tier 2. This is where we have limited ourselves.
And they are all preferring life insurance?
Absolutely. So it is at a national level. It is across cohorts, and even if you were to break it to the categories of towns, metros, tier 1, tier 2, things, it is a sort of a universal trend. It is not that metros are preferring or something. So wherever there is a difference in some geography or some cohort, you have called that out. But there is no such that a certain level of town is preferring or not preferring life insurance. However,
its age group is preferring this life insurance.
No, so this percentage is true across cohorts of age, income, geographies, gender. You want specifically, I can get you details. There is not much of a difference. Wherever there has been some difference, you have called that out, but I can come back to you if you are interested in a specific cohort. I can come back to you, sir. Of Indian changing aspirations, changing mindsets of Indians, and we had this buzzwords of millennials and life goals people wanting to achieve. So until then, the industry, lot of the communication, brand promise was focused on fear and uncertainty. You buy this, you will take care of if something happens to your family, you will be taken care of. But you look at the product texture, 95+% people wanting to save and invest to have a happy retirement or to be able to achieve child's life goals. We said people were investing to live life to the fullest. So we go back and ask customers, and what came across in their verbology was life goals. I want to achieve life goals. I want to have a startup. I want to give my parent a Europe trip. I want to retire early. This is my life goal. The more we spoke to consumers, we said it is on us. We said we'll have our brand promise anchoring on let's have a purpose, a mission for the company is we'll try to become a credible life goal enabler to the Indian population. Of course, a lot of work to be done. If you have to do that, of course, you have to make the products or marketing communication, tools and calculators have to be in such a way that people start with, this is my life goal, I want to achieve in the next 15 years, and what can I do, where should I invest? So those things started doing it, but we thought we should go and do a survey, a large survey we should commission and understand, are there any preference in the life goals? Is tier 2 saying a different life goal? Are women's life goals different? Is South saying different? So we did the first decoding Indian's life goal, because if we want to be a credible, if we want to understand what customers are thinking and make relevant interventions in our business facet, it was important for us to do a consumer survey. So we did the first one. So that is the reason we started doing the first edition. We did the first edition in 2019. It is obvious, pandemic made a change, we all know that. But we let it stabilize. So we had the last wave last year by February, March, restrictions opening up. We gave it some time. We said we'll do after 5-6 months, and somewhere in October, November we did the field work of how the life goals are changing. Yeah. To answer your question, sir, believe that as a life goal enabler, we should understand. We should understand and pass on this information to as many ecosystem players as possible. And we are the best people to pass on this. This is what's happening. I'm sure this is useful not only to the industry players, it's also relevant to the BFSI players. It's relevant to anybody who wants to play in health, fitness, travel. This is what we thought it is onus is on us, not just to use it selfishly, but also to pass it on to a larger set of people.
Help to others also.
People, consumer voice, and people may find something insightful.
We'll take last two questions in case there are any more questions. Okay, I guess there are no other questions. Mr. Mehra will be available for, and he'll join us also for lunch. So thank you, Sanmon. Thank you, Kantar representative, Arushi. May I request all of you to please.
Chandramohan Mehra, Chief Marketing Officer, happy to, on behalf of Bajaj Allianz Life, happy to share some insightful findings that have emerged from our second edition of India's Life Goal Preparedness Survey 2023. Survey conducted in collaboration with India's premier research agency, Kantar. One of the most insightful findings that is emerging is Indian population rating protection or providing for the financial security of family is rating as the topmost life goal. The second is post-pandemic, 2/3 of Indian population is rating health and fitness as one of the priority life goals. For retirement, it has moved from, if 35% of the Indian population in 2019 said retirement as a priority goal, now 71% of Indian population saying retirement as a key life goals. And this finding is relevant across cohorts, including the younger generation. Now, social media has influenced, so 40% of respondents saying that social media influences life goals. This life goals typically are lifestyle life goals, health fitness life goals, and travel life goals. Life insurance as an instrument is being seen as the most preferred instrument to achieve life goals. 65% of the life goals Indian population say they believe, they are confident that life insurance will help them fulfill the life goal. The life goal preparedness index, which is a function of knowledge, confidence, and preparedness, now stands at 47 at a national average. For South, it drops it to 41. Very inside self-care, family protection, and societal well-being, where almost more than 30% of the Indian population wanting to give back to the society, which is in terms of sharing the experience, knowledge, which is beyond monetary contributions.